Hello everyone, today I'm here to do a mashup review for you. So if you're not familiar with my mashup reviews, gosh that's hard to say, it's where I take 3 books within kind of similar genres. This one's quite frankly all over the place with genres, but either way, it's 3 books that I've read recently and I talk about them all in one video. I tell you what they're about, I give you my rating, and I try to keep it spoiler free for the most part. I do warn you if there are spoilers. As always, if you're interested in hearing one book in particular, I will leave the timestamps down below for when I talk about each individual book. So like I said, this one's kind of all over the place because the books I will be talking about today are Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, which is a chick-lit romance novel, whatever you want to call it. Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin, which is kind of a literary fiction book. And The Last Miss Parrish by Liv Constantine, which is a mystery thriller. So we got 3 very different genres all in this one video, so let's hop into it. So the first book I want to talk about is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I've read 2 Christina Lauren books in the past before and really enjoyed them. This by far is my favorite by her. I devoured this book and loved it to pieces. This one I think is the most romancy of all of her books, which probably says a lot about me. I love romance. But I also love the way it was written. I love the plot and I love the characters the most in all of her other books. This book we follow our main character Macy, and this actually goes kind of back and forth through time. So Macy meets this guy named Elliot when she is like 12 and they become best friends and something more. And you follow her back then when they first meet and things like that. And then we also flash forward to Macy now, who is in her late 20s and she's now a resident doctor in pediatrics, and she is getting married to a guy that's financially secure and she thinks her life is going really good. And then she runs into Elliot again and it stirs up a lot of feelings. So this one goes back and forth between, you know, when she fell in love with Elliot and then now they're, you know, reuniting and things are happening again. So this one was just so beautiful. I loved the romance between Macy and Elliot. You know, you obviously know from the get-go that they've had some sort of falling out because she's marrying a different guy. So throughout the whole book, you're constantly wondering what has happened for these 2 to part because they're so perfect for one another. And you learn more about it, and you learn Macy as she's dealt with a very tumultuous past because her mother has passed away when she was younger and a lot of things have happened. And this one is just, if you just are a romance junkie and fall in love with those stories of, like, you know, fated lovers and things like that, I think you would really enjoy this one. This will definitely make you have all the swoon-worthy feelings and makes your heart, you know, pitter-patter and all of those things. So I could not get enough of this book. Like, when I finished it, I wanted to reread it. That's how much I enjoyed it. And it takes a lot for me to really, really love a romance novel. And I loved this one. So honestly, if I can give this one a rating, it'd be like a 4, a 4.5. Loved it to death. I think they actually say this is like their first, like, really truly romantic novel, and I would totally agree with that. You can devour this in a day because you're so addicted to the characters and their love story, and yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend. I know, I'm gushing about it a lot. The next book I want to talk about is The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry? I don't know, by Gabrielle Zevin. I've read another one of her books before called Young Jane Young and really loved that one. And I will say this one's her most highly rated one. Like, a lot of people love and adore this book. And I enjoyed it, but I don't think I enjoyed it as much as her other book, Young Jane Young, which I have reviewed, which I'll link right here. This one is all about, you guessed it, AJ. I'm just gonna call him AJ because I can't pronounce his last name. How do you pronounce that? And he is a bookseller. He owns a bookstore on this really small island that's kind of like, I don't know, I picture it near Maine. I could be 100% wrong on that. And they're kind of not doing so well. He is a widow. His wife died a few years ago, and he's just kind of set in his ways almost, even though he's only like 35, you know, to 40, and he's just kind of not having the best life. And then suddenly one day it's custody of this like 2-year-old girl, and his life changes from there. And that's the whole gist of this book. You're just watching AJ's life, you know, kind of start really rocky at the beginning of this book because he's lost his wife, he doesn't know who he is anymore, his bookstore is not doing so well. He's kind of lost his love of everything pretty much, and we see this little girl enter his life and it changes everything for him. He finds love again. He finds, you know, he loves being a father to this girl, and it's just a beautiful, heartwarming story. If you're interested in really just a heartwarming story that'll make you smile and just kind of you know, watch somebody's life come together after it's fallen apart, I would recommend this book. Overall, I gave this a 3.5, maybe close to 4 out of 5. I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as Young Dating Young, and I feel like I'm probably the unpopular opinion on that matter because everyone seems to really love and adore this book, but I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, I will say that. But either way, I love Gabrielle Zevin's writing. Like, she could just quickly envelope you in a story and you just fall quickly in it. I want to visit this island and go to this island bookstore and just be immersed with these characters and these people. So yeah, I would recommend it. I think it's a quick, fun read, but I think I just like Young Dating Young better than... And the last book I want to talk about today is The Last Miss Parrish by Liv Constantine. This is a mystery thriller book, and this book, it pretty much is all about this girl named Amber who is fed up with her life and can't stand what her life is doing, and then she kind of meets this woman named Daphne Parrish, and she falls in love with Daphne Parrish's life. Like, she wants her husband, she wants her house, she wants everything that Daphne Parrish has that Amber doesn't have. So this book is all pretty much the plot of Amber to try to literally steal Daphne's life. I think it's got that kind of single white female thing with it. I haven't seen that movie, but I think it's like the same plot. And overall, I like this one, didn't love it. I feel like I have been reading a ton of lackluster mystery thrillers lately. There's been a lot that I've just been like, it was okay, it wasn't that mysterious or wasn't that thrilling. With this book, there was a big curveball at the end, but I think a lot of people, including myself, saw it coming, could definitely see where the plot was exactly going, and it definitely went there. And so I think that kind of took away with it. And I think it's just a trope that's been used constantly, like this woman wanting to steal this other woman's husband and wanting to have her life and just things like that. I feel like that's played out time and time again. So I don't know. I feel like I need to take a break from mystery thrillers because I just haven't read any that have been amazing lately. Like, I can't think of the last time I read a really good one was like in December. So it's been a while since I've read a really good one. And this one, I feel like the reviews on Goodreads are kind of all over the place. A lot of people either love it or a lot of people don't like it. I liked it. It kept me captivated, that's for sure. It was definitely a page turner, you know, because you get to see how manipulative Amber is and her plot and her ways and just horrible. And you really got to feel for Daphne Parrish. And it was, you know, it was a page turner, like I said, for sure, but it just didn't have that wow factor that I really wanted it to have. So I gave this one 3.5. I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of a mediocre thriller. Think differently, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are, and let me know, seriously, give me some good thriller recommendations. The ones I have on my TBR shelf so we can share. I have Bonfire by Christian Ritter. Is that one good? I have The Chalk Man by CJ Tudor. I have These Broken Girls by Simone St. Jones. I have The Perfect Mother by Amy Malloy. I've heard good things about that one. What else do I have? I think that's in All the Beautiful Strangers by Elizabeth. I can't pronounce that last name. Those are those I have read. Those are all the thrillers I have on my TBR shelf. If any of them are really good, please let me know. Because next thriller I read, I want to be really good. I feel like all the ones I keep picking up are just kind of letting me down a little bit. This one, it was okay, just not amazing. So there you have it, my thoughts and opinions on these 3 books right here. Definitely my favorite of this was Love and Other Words. And these 2 I did really enjoy. I would say I definitely enjoyed The Storied Life. I would recommend it. The Last Miss Parrish, I don't know, if you're a thriller junkie, definitely read it, but if you're kind of, you know, looking for something different and new, I wouldn't recommend it. So, I feel like I'm so harsh in some of these videos, but how it goes sometimes. So if you've read any of these, please let me know your thoughts and opinions. I would love to hear them. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.